Hey guys, Michael here from michaelsherlock.com. I want to talk to you today about, it's not that I expect these, but just my hopes and dreams for iOS 5.0, because I feel without these updates, my next phone, my next daily driver, may not be an iOS device. There are a lot of other options out there. Android, WebOS, which is very intriguing to me. Even Windows Phone 7 is coming a long way. And Apple's software has sort of become stagnant over the last few incarnations with such trivial updates that were glorified, such as copy and paste, etc., etc. Even tethering took over an extremely long time to be introduced into the Apple walled garden, if you will. So, iOS 5.0. First and foremost, synergy between iOS devices. We sort of saw this in terms of BlackBerry with BlackBerry Bridge, where it allows you to connect your playbook and your latest version BlackBerry together, and you can do certain things. You can share your internet connection, you can send SMS messages, etc. I feel that this is a necessary thing because right now I do use an iPhone 4 as my daily driver, and I have an iPad 2 as my sort of tablet mobile solution because I like to keep the laptop at home. So you should be able to send and receive SMS and MMS messages on your iPad or iPod Touch. Maybe it's over a Wi-Fi connection, maybe it's over Bluetooth, maybe it's even over the air, but whatever it is, obviously the SMS is sent to your iPhone, but then you can read it and respond to it on your other iOS device. Conversely, tethering from the iPhone to the iPad shouldn't be an additional charge. I understand carriers, Apple, I got it, but if this is something that Apple really wanted to push forward, then it would happen because Apple has that spunk and Apple has that ability to sort of get what they want when carriers are a little bit iffy. But even if it's no additional charge, perhaps there could be a way where you paid like a little bit extra and you could share the data between your two devices instead of having to have two separate data plans, which is kind of redundant and annoying. Perhaps with unlimited plans going away on Verizon Wireless and not even available on iPads right now, I don't think, you should be able to say maybe have a 2 GB plan. It'll cost you $35 a month, let's say, and you can then use that on both of your devices. That's something that I think would be an interesting feature. Number two, I like to do with that, and I get some grief for that, improve notifications. This is just, I don't understand why this hasn't happened already. First and foremost, the notifications suck. They're the same for everything, so you don't know if you're getting a Facebook message that you can just close, or if you're getting an SMS message that you really want to respond to right away. It's really the same beep, and it's the same little looking notification, same push notification. That's just ridiculous. Also, my biggest qualm really is the fact that you can't save anything for later. If you get an SMS and you're doing something else, you can either respond or close. If you close, you're not going to have that little notification on the icon telling you to go back and answer that SMS. So you could easily forget. It's very, very annoying. And, you know, it's really crippling. Multitasking is something that probably should be improved. It's not really on my list today. But if you're trying to do something and you get an SMS, you have to stop what you're doing and move back to it. That's kind of ridiculous. One of the things I really like is if they had maybe a tray at the top, you could just pull down, see your notifications that you have, then you can clear them out if you don't want to respond to them. But if you can't deal with it right away, it shouldn't just be removed as a notification because you still need reminding. That's the entire point. Notifications, the way iOS handles it, is simply crap. Another thing that I've been talking about, number three, that I've been talking about a lot, and in the past, when I've had my phone jailbroken, I've actually showed you how to do this with, I believe it's Ultimate iPhone Customization and Ultimate iPhone Customization 2, I think those are the two videos, a customized lock screen and home screen. You should be able to have weather, email, SMS, calendar entries, all that stuff should be on the lock screen that you can see right away. That should be user programmable. Maybe, you can go into iTunes and the same way that you can sort of move around your icons, you can set that up. Maybe you can set it up in the settings of your device. I'm not exactly sure, and I don't really care the way Apple implements it, but the fact of the matter remains, the lock screen is a lot of screen real estate that's not being used right now. Especially on the iPad, which is a 9.7 inch screen, and you're not using it at all. These iOS devices have this screen real estate. You look at it, you glance at it at the time. That's how I at least use my phone. I just pick it out, glance at it if I'm not wearing my watch. Why can't you just quickly glance at your notifications or quickly glance at your SMS messages? I'm not saying you should be able to reply from the home screen because then if you're somebody that locks it, then you shouldn't be able to respond to somebody else's SMS. But maybe that's something that is a user option if you want to be able to respond right from the home screen. That's just something that I don't understand why Apple doesn't do it. Or rather, I completely understand why Apple doesn't do it. They like the walled garden. They don't like people customizing all their stuff. They don't like widgets because it could slow down this and that. But the point is, the other operating systems, WebOS, Android, they do it. And it works, and people want it, and I want it. So I don't understand why Apple just can't do it. Number 4, easier file transfers. You should be able to drag and drop, maybe not necessarily mass storage mode like we had on the previous iPods in the past, but perhaps that's something. But you should be able to put files on your device and not have to use an app. They've sort of allowed that, for instance, with their Pages application, you can put Word documents on and off through iTunes. But what if you don't want to spend $10 for that? What if you just want to drag PDFs and other important documents on there as a backup, but also so you can just view it on your iPad? You shouldn't have to email it to yourself and then view it as an attachment in the Mail application to transfer PDFs and such. And I know iBooks, it sort of works like that, but it should just be drag and drop. Conversely, you should be able to download PDFs and such from the internet, Word documents, whatever the case may be, from the internet. For images, you just click the button and it downloads to your camera roll. I don't understand why you can't just do that with Word documents. And this is kind of a stretch, but maybe install stuff from the internet as well. Just download it and put it on there. That would be an interesting feature as well. Now the final thing that I'm really interested in, and this ties back to that North Carolina data center that we've seen in the past, but cloud services. Musics, photos, videos, they should all sync over the air and from the cloud. From your device or from your computer to your device, over the cloud, over the air. File transfers over the air as well that we talked about with easier file transfers. But not just that. The idea here is you shouldn't have to plug your device in at all unless it's being charged. You shouldn't have to put it into the computer at all. So over-the-air system updates as well. And I blogged about this at michaelsherlock.com if you want to check out more about over-the-air updates in terms of software. But I just feel that everything should be over-the-air and in the cloud. This is good for two reasons, or several reasons. First, you don't have to have as much storage if you're just accessing it from the cloud. But conversely, even if it's just being pushed to the cloud and being stored on your local device, you just shouldn't have to sync. Apple does a pretty good job of being able to buy music from iTunes on your iOS device, right? That's over the cloud or over the air because you're just buying it and it's being downloaded right to your device. But if you do that on your PC or Mac, or if you rip a CD that you have, or whatever the case may be, wherever you get your music from, it should synchronize over the cloud in the back, or over the air from the cloud in the background. So you get some new music from some CDs, you put it on your computer, you could then choose on your device to really pull that down now and do it as quickly as possible and devote all your system resources and all the bandwidth to it, or you can just do it over the air in the background so the next day when you wake up in the morning, everything's synchronized and ready to go. That's really the optimal way to do it. I don't understand why, it's 2011, we have to plug into iTunes every single time we want to update something on our devices. That's just my 2 cents. These are my hopes and dreams for iOS 5.0. I guess we'll see a lot more at WWDC this summer. I'm Michael Sherlock from michaelsherlock.com. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day, guys.